If you are watching this, it is not by coincidence or curiosity. This message is not meant for the ordinary, nor for those who walk in darkness, nor for those who mock the divine. Only God's chosen ones should continue, the ones who have walked through the fire without losing themselves, the ones who survived betrayals, rejections, spiritual attacks, and loneliness, the ones who questioned why the world treated them differently, yet still kept their heart aligned with heaven. This message is reaching you at the perfect time because heaven has decided you are ready. You proved yourself in silence. You proved yourself when no one was watching. You proved yourself when every earthly reason to quit was placed in front of you, and yet you stood up again. God wants you to hear this because your life is about to shift. He wants you to know where you stand. Comment 777 if you can feel the call already vibrating through your spirit. Subscribe to Rise of the Chosen, tap the bell icon, and share this message to those you know are chosen. Not everyone will understand this, but those who belong to the counsel of God will feel it immediately. Stay until the end, because what you are about to hear will confirm everything you have felt in your spirit, but could never explain to anyone. You are not just chosen, you are being summoned.
Dear chosen one, are you walking the path of God but feeling a lack of guidance? Do you feel alone and isolated and want to know why God is doing this to you? We have built a community for the 144,000 chosen ones where you can watch our premium videos, get daily newsletters and prayer techniques to connect with God more deeply. You can also read blog posts and receive free ebooks to learn more about your journey. It will be your guide to walk the path of God and lead a life of faith and wisdom. More than 1,000 brothers and sisters have already joined, so don't miss out on today's daily guidance. Check out the link in the video description and join the 144,000 Chosen One community right now.
The Heavenly Council. A circle. Only a few are summoned into. There is a difference between those who believe in God and those who stand beside Him. There is a difference between those who follow the divine path with discipline and those who God calls to participate in His plans. The Heavenly Council is not a physical table in the sky. It is not a throne room you walk into with your feet, and it is not a council where men cast votes. It is a spiritual circle that God allows only a few souls to enter. Many pray, many worship, many cry out, but few gain access. The council does not respond to desperation, it responds to destiny. It does not bend because someone is loud, emotional, or begging. It only opens for those who God has tested, refined, and marked long before they even knew what their mission was. If you feel different, isolated, misunderstood since childhood, it is because heaven has been preparing you for this seat. To be summoned to God's inner circle is not to be superior to others. It is not to wear a badge or claim power over the world. It is to carry the weight of what others cannot handle. The council is made of souls who can be entrusted with burdens that would break most people. God selects those who have seen darkness and did not become it. He chooses those who have walked through storms and did not curse Him. Those who have been surrounded by liars, manipulators, jealous hearts, spiritual parasites, and still did not turn bitter. The Heavenly Council is formed by survivors of invisible wars. You have already fought those battles. You think they were coincidences, but they were measurements. God was watching how you responded when life was unfair, when people betrayed you, when your heart was torn apart by those you loved, when you were forced to stand alone, not because you wanted to, but because there was no one who truly understood you. He saw your tears, but He also saw your endurance. Only the chosen endure without surrendering their soul. The council is not a place where everyone's voice is equal. It is where God listens to those who have earned the right to speak, not because you are perfect, but because you proved you cannot be corrupted. Your intentions were pure even when your environment was not. You prayed for those who hurt you. You forgave when vengeance seemed justified. You remained humble when others gloated. Heaven does not call loud, confident egotists. It calls the quiet warriors, the ones who never asked for the spotlight. The council values character far more than charisma. When God whispers, "I need you," it is because he knows you obey without complaint, not because you seek applause. Those who crave influence never enter the council. Those who surrender their will to God are the ones who are welcomed. Understand this clearly. Not every believer is called to shape destinies. Some are meant to pray, some are meant to learn, some are meant to be protected, and some are meant to be taught. You are not one of those. You are the one heaven sends into environments to shift energy. You are the one who walks into a room and spirits feel threatened, not because you try, but because your mere presence changes the atmosphere. You were never like others. You never fit in. You never blended with the crowd. Everyone around you felt the difference, even when you could not explain it. People either gravitated to you because they saw light in you, or they hated you without reason because their demons saw danger. That is how heaven marks those for the council, not by crowns, not by wings, not by miracles, but by the reactions of the world. Think of Moses, chosen not because he was eloquent, but because his heart carried a mission. Think of Joseph, thrown into a pit, betrayed by his own brothers, imprisoned, forgotten, yet chosen to shift the destiny of nations. The council is not formed by people who had easy lives. It is built from those who have been crushed, those who cried in silence, those who rebuilt themselves without support, those who faced spiritual assassination attempts and still rose. God does not select the comfortable, he selects the courageous. The heavenly council is not glamorous, it is sacred, it is painful, it is lonely, but it is also the highest trust God gives to a human soul. You might ask, why me? The answer is simple. Because you are the only one who can carry what you have been given. Others who seemed smarter, stronger, or holier would have folded. People around you did not understand you because you were never meant to be understood by them. You were meant to be understood by heaven. The council is not about religion. It is not about titles. It is not about ceremonies or temples. It is about alignment. When your spirit acts in unity with God's intention, you enter the council. When you stop asking for blessings and start asking for assignments, God knows you are ready. When your prayers shift from help me to use me, heaven takes note. There are chosen ones who doubt themselves because they see their scars. They think their trauma disqualifies them. They think their mistakes make them less worthy. But God does not summon the flawless. He summons the faithful. The council is not made of saints. It is made of warriors. Think about every time you thought you were done, yet something inside you pushed you to stand up again. That was not coincidence. That was God's hand on your back. Think of the moments where you could have retaliated, but you chose restraint. You thought it was weakness, but heaven called it wisdom. Think about every moment you felt alone, losing everything you thought mattered, when people you trusted walked away, when opportunities collapsed. You thought it was punishment. In truth, it was separation. The council does not welcome those still attached to the world. God isolates his chosen so they learn to hear him clearly. When heaven brings you into council, he does not give you everything at once. He gradually reveals the agenda. First, he teaches you endurance. Then he teaches discernment. Then he teaches spiritual authority. Only after that does he reveal the mission. You feel it now, don't you? The strange pull toward purpose, the sense of responsibility that weighs on you even when no one asked you to take it on. The awareness that the suffering you endured was not random, that your growth was not accidental. This is the beginning of your summoning. The heavenly council is not reached by begging for favor. It is entered by living in truth. Only those who have walked through the wilderness without losing their soul can hear the invitation. You may not fully grasp it yet, but heaven already recognizes you. Your existence has already disrupted the enemy's plans. Your spirit already communicates with the divine, even when your mind doubts. God does not invite the multitudes into council. He invites the few who can carry the voice of heaven into the earth. If you are still listening, it is because you are one of them. The records of your soul, your life, has already testified. Long before you understood the language of spirit, heaven was recording the movements of your heart, not the words you spoke to impress others, not the prayers you repeated out of fear, not the public displays of faith you made to look righteous. God watched the silent sacrifices, the moments when no one was looking, the decisions that cost you peace, comfort and reputation, but kept your soul clean. Every second of your existence is documented, not by human eyes, but by the intelligence of heaven. You did not know this, but you have already testified through your life. You have already shown God who you are, even when your lips did not speak. When you were betrayed and still forgave, a record was made. When you were mocked and chose not to retaliate, heaven took note. When you could have taken shortcuts, but chose the long, painful path of righteousness, God saw you and smiled. It is your actions, not your intentions, that place your name among the chosen. Your soul is a living archive. Every heartbreak, every period of isolation, every spiritual attack, every time you sat on the floor with tears running down your face and whispered, "God, I trust you," it was written down. People think the chosen are validated by miracles, applause, or supernatural signs. They are wrong. The chosen are validated by endurance. They are verified by their ability to stay pure in environments that would poison most people. You have questioned why you felt things so deeply, why you carried the pain of others, why you noticed lies instantly, why you could not tolerate manipulation or injustice. These are not personality traits. These are spiritual proofs. Sensitivity to darkness is not weakness. It means you were designed to detect what others overlook. The records of your soul are more accurate than any prayer you ever prayed. God listens to the heart before the mouth. Think about the moments you were asked to endure abuse disguised as loyalty. People claimed to love you, yet they used you. They pretended to care, but they drained you. They took your kindness as a resource. Heaven watched. Not a single tear was wasted. Not a single cry was ignored. The world looked at your suffering and assumed no one was coming to rescue you. They thought you were weak. They thought you were simply struggling. But heaven documented the integrity you held onto while you were breaking. Every time you protected someone who would never protect you, the angelic scribes wrote it down. Every time you helped someone who later turned against you, the record was marked. The chosen are not chosen because of their confidence. They are chosen because their soul never betrays their purpose. Your heart has been speaking your destiny long before you recognized it. God tests the chosen secretly. He does not announce your trial. He does not warn you so you can prepare. He places you in difficult circumstances and observes. Will you become bitter? Will you lie to protect your pride? Will you manipulate to gain advantage? Or will you hold peace even when chaos provokes you? It is easy to look holy when life is good. It is easy to speak faith when the path is smooth. The chosen are measured in the darkness, in the confusion, in the silence. The world judged your mistakes. Heaven recorded your intentions. You have been punished for being honest while others prospered through deception, and you wondered if God abandoned you. He did not. He was gathering evidence. Every delayed blessing has a foundation. Every unopened door has a reason. You think you are waiting, but heaven is presenting the records of your soul before the spiritual authorities. You do not realize how powerful your testimony already is. You think your story is still being written. It is. But your qualification has already been stamped. The experiences that nearly destroyed you are the same experiences that awarded you access. God could not give missions to those who never suffered. He cannot place destiny in hands that have never been burned. A chosen one without scars is a soldier without training. You prayed for peace, but heaven was shaping you for influence. You wanted comfort, but God was preparing you to carry revelation. The chosen cannot be naive. They cannot be spiritually fragile. They cannot be easily manipulated. Your pain sculpted you into someone who cannot be broken by temptation. Your disappointments taught you discernment. Your loneliness forced you to listen to God. The records of your soul show growth that cannot be faked. That is why you qualify. Understand this truth. Heaven does not analyze your reputation, it analyzes your response. People might think you are unstable because you withdrew from toxic circles. Heaven calls it obedience. People might think you are lazy because you stopped chasing money. Heaven calls it surrender. People might accuse you of being selfish because you chose solitude over crowds. Heaven calls it consecration. The records of your soul are not influenced by public opinion. They are influenced by your alignment with the divine. You are not perfect, but your heart always returned to God. That is the evidence. The chosen make mistakes, sometimes destructive ones, but they cannot stay in sin. Something within them screams when they fall off the path. They feel guilt instantly. They correct themselves. They apologize. They try again. Heaven recognizes the ones who get back up without begging for validation. When you thought you were invisible, you were being observed. The spiritual realm did not watch your victories, it watched your breakdowns. How you handled betrayal, how you handled humiliation, how you carried grief, how you remained gentle in a world of cruelty. You might think others were chosen because they look successful, or because they speak with confidence, or because they perform spiritual rituals publicly. But the ones heaven places in front lines are the ones who suffered in silence. The chosen know how to operate without applause. They know how to heal without recognition. They know how to love without expectation. You have done all of these. Do you see now? The records of your soul are the proof. You do not need to convince God of anything. He has been watching you since the day you opened your eyes. There are moments you look back at your life and think, why did I put myself through that? Why did I help them? Why did I protect them? Why did I forgive them? The answer is simple, because heaven was shaping your identity. Your identity is not defined by your wounds, but by your choices despite them. Many people break and become destructive. Many people get betrayed and become cruel. Many people get hurt and then hurt others. You did not. You healed. You transformed. You used your pain to understand others. That is the difference. The chosen do not seek revenge. They seek clarity. Your empathy is evidence. You do not know how to walk past someone's suffering and pretend not to care. That instinct alone places you above thousands who speak of God but do not embody Him. Heaven never judges the chosen by their early life. Childhood trauma, confusion, mistakes, rebellion, none of these disqualify you. They refine you. A diamond does not look valuable when it is covered in earth. You have been uncovered piece by piece through heartbreaks, spiritual warfare, cycles of abandonment, and forced independence. Every time you walked away from something that was killing your spirit, heaven applauded. Every time you refused to conform to the expectations of the mediocre, heaven placed a checkmark next to your name. Every time you stood up when you should have fallen, heaven took note. Your life is a living testimony, not because you preached, but because you endured. This is why God is now calling you. Not because you asked, not because you think you are ready, but because your soul has already proven itself. The council does not summon you because you demand authority. It summons you because your history shows that you will not betray heaven's will. Others may doubt you. You may doubt yourself, but heaven does not. The records of your soul testify for you. Separation and refinement. The sacred isolation season. Every chosen one goes through a season that feels unbearable, confusing, painful, and deeply personal. It is a sacred isolation that the world cannot comprehend. You are not separated because you are unworthy. You are separated because you are being refined. When God calls you into the realm of spiritual authority, He first strips away everything that can distract you. He removes the voices that would influence your direction. He cuts ties with people who would betray your mission. He closes doors that would interfere with your purpose. Isolation is not rejection, it is divine surgery. It is the spiritual operating room where God prepares your soul for the responsibilities it cannot yet see. And He does not ask you for permission. He simply begins to extract what must go. There was a time when you wondered why friendships collapsed without reason, why every relationship that once looked promising suddenly fell apart, why the people you invested in emotionally walked away when you needed them most. You blamed yourself. You thought you were the problem. You assumed something was wrong with your heart, your character, your personality. You saw abandonment, but heaven saw refinement. God removed the voices that would drown His instruction. He removed the hands that would hold you back when destiny started calling. He removed the hearts that would envy your rise. The chosen ones are always misunderstood because they do not know they are being moved, not abandoned. Isolation is heaven's security protocol. It is how God locks you away until you are ready to shine. The world will never understand why chosen people often walk alone. They think you are antisocial. They think you are arrogant. They think you are strange, distant, difficult to approach. They have no idea that you do not need crowds to validate you. The chosen do not operate on admiration. They operate on alignment. When God calls you into separation, He disconnects you from everyone you once used as emotional anchors. He does this so you can no longer rely on human approval, human comfort, or human affection. It is during this time that you learn to hear His voice without interference. This silent season is where you stop asking people for advice and start asking heaven for direction. It is where you develop spiritual strength that cannot be faked. Isolation is not a punishment. It is training. It is a spiritual wilderness where God molds your identity. You start to see the emptiness of the world's distractions. You lose interest in gossip, pointless conversations, shallow goals, meaningless entertainment. Gain and loss begin to feel different. Your spirit stops chasing attention and begins searching for truth. You realize that material success does not satisfy you, that applause does nothing for your soul, that temporary pleasures drain you. This sensitivity is not weakness, it is purification. God removes noise so you can listen to purpose. In isolation, the chosen become disciplined without external pressure. You discover who you are when there is nobody left to mirror you. Isolation removes illusions. This season is brutal because it forces you to confront parts of yourself that you have avoided. The distractions you once used to escape, relationships, social circles, busyness, are gone. You are faced with your insecurities, your fears, your wounds, your habits, your doubts. Many people run from this stage. They chase relationships out of desperation, cling to toxic friendships, drown themselves in entertainment or addiction. They want noise because silence terrifies them. The chosen learn to sit in the silence and allow the fire to burn everything that is false. Refinement is not gentle. It shakes you. It humiliates you. It breaks your pride. It crushes your ego. You start to see the difference between what you want and what you need. God removes what you cling to, not to destroy you, but to free you. If you could still depend on people, you would never depend on Him. Every chosen one has a moment where they ask, "Why am I alone?" This question haunts you in the beginning. It feels unfair. It feels unnatural. You see others surrounded by friends, relationships, communities, and you wonder why your life never looks like theirs. But isolation is never given to the ordinary. It is reserved for those who will one day carry influence. When the time comes to speak to nations, to lead souls, to transform systems, to break generational curses, God cannot allow you to be shaped by the opinions of the crowd. He must anchor your identity in Him alone. If He allowed the wrong people to stay, you would compromise your mission trying to keep them comfortable. Chosen ones do not belong everywhere. They belong where heaven places them. During the isolation season, your spirit changes. You stop reacting emotionally. You become calmer, quieter, more observant. You start to see through people. Their intentions become visible. Their motivations reveal themselves without effort. You realize who is genuine and who is pretending. God sharpens your discernment not through comfort, but through exposure. The people who hurt you were not accidents, they were teachers. The betrayals you faced were not failures, they were revelations. Every painful moment was a shift. Each disappointment loosened your attachment to the world. The chosen are not refined through praise, they are refined through suffering. You learned loyalty because you were betrayed. You learned compassion because you were neglected. You learned patience because you were ignored. Pain carved wisdom into you. You may think isolation ended when the people around you disappeared, but that is only the beginning. Isolation continues when your spirit separates from the world, even if your body is in public. You feel different in every room. You observe more than you speak. You no longer fit into conversations that once excited you. The jokes and topics that others enjoy feel empty. You cannot force yourself to play a role you have outgrown. God does not allow chosen ones to stay comfortable. He stretches them, He pushes them, He forces them to evolve. Isolation ends only when you stop resisting it, when you finally surrender and accept that solitude is not a curse, it is a sanctuary. The chosen become dangerous when they learn how to stand alone. In this season, God removes not only people, but also versions of yourself. The identity you built to survive must die. The defensive personality, the agreeable facade, the people pleaser, the performer, the mask you wore to be accepted, He will burn it all. You will feel like you are losing yourself, when in reality you are shedding the self you were never meant to be. Your spirit asks you to look inward, not outward. The more you resist, the harder the fire burns. The moment you stop clinging to old identities, peace enters. Refinement teaches you that you do not need validation from those who never understood your purpose. You no longer chase love, attention, or recognition. You finally realize that isolation was not to punish you, it was to reveal you. You may think the isolation season has lasted too long. You are tired, you are weary. You wonder if God has forgotten you. But heaven never leaves its chosen unattended. You are not in a prison. You are in a cocoon. The butterfly does not know that transformation is taking place, yet every day the wings grow silently. The world sees absence, but heaven sees construction. When God releases you from isolation, the world will not recognize you. They will call you changed, different, unapproachable, intimidating. They will not understand that you became this way in fire. The chosen are reborn in solitude. Every chosen one goes through it. None escape it. You are not being cut off. You are being prepared. Counsel responsibilities. Not everyone can carry God's voice. To be summoned into God's counsel is one thing. To carry His voice is another. Many people claim to speak for the divine. Many call themselves prophets, spiritual leaders, healers, wise teachers, and yet they carry nothing but ego. They repeat words they don't understand. They quote scripture they don't embody. They preach love while living in pride. They speak of God but have not endured His refinement. The council has no interest in loud mouths or religious performers. Heaven is not impressed with those who crave attention. If you are chosen to carry God's voice, it is because your spirit has proven it will not distort His message for personal gain. The council trusts only those who can deliver truth without bending to fear, temptation, manipulation, or the need to be liked. Carrying God's voice requires accuracy. It requires loyalty to heaven above loyalty to society, family, or culture. When you speak from the divine, you do not sugarcoat. You illuminate. You do not entertain, you awaken. You do not use spiritual wisdom to elevate your ego. You use it to elevate souls. The chosen do not compromise truth just to keep followers. They do not adjust their message to please the masses. The council gives purpose, not popularity. When you speak, some will feel healed, others will feel exposed. That is how you know you are carrying God's voice. The truth comforts the humble and terrifies the wicked. The divine is not gentle when confronting deception. God's voice is not designed to make the world comfortable, it is designed to realign it. Carrying God's voice means understanding responsibility, not authority. It means recognizing that every word has weight. The counsel does not send you into conversations simply to talk. It sends you to shift energy, redirect intention, and bring clarity where confusion has taken root. You have experienced moments where people walked away from a discussion with you and felt something change in